show. We're on the air at 9 o'clock on every weekday night, taking calls about the Jazz.
Well, hello and good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Tonight joining myself, Ulster Burr, is Bridge and Rudy. How are you, boys?
Hi, Ulster. How we doing? How you doing, Bridge, man?
Okay, thanks, pal. Can I just say a big good evening to you guys in the panel? Massive good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans all over the world. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, yes, this is it. So we're the stalwarts again, us three. Why not, sir? We'll do it our best, won't we, boys? We'll do a good job.
We'll give it a good going over Ulster. We certainly will, mate, won't we?
I was just sent a wee message out to True Blue if he wanted to come in and take part. He said he's a wee bit busy, but maybe 5 minutes or so. Okay. Just to let you know.
The famous True.
The famous True Blue, the one and only. Our
yes.
esteemed member. Not a steaming member. Esteemed member. So how are you, Rudy? You doing good, Rudy?
I'm fine, Bridgeman. Thanks very much for asking.
What's the latest with the dinner situation? What did you have for your dinner tonight? The whole lobby's waiting to hear.
Sausage hot pot tonight, Bridge.
Sausage hot pot. I'll tell you what, that Mrs. Rudy is really good to you. I have to say it. Really good.
Yes, and so she should be, Bridge. You know what I'm saying? You're right, Bridge, man. She is really. Yeah, definitely. After last week's performance, you know, we had a wee bit of a, let's say, a cool atmosphere in the house for a couple of days, but everything seems to be back to normal again, so that's fine.
Good to see. Well, I think what we'll do is, guys, because there's a statement of, Club 1872 today, a lot to do with the fan zone issue, which has went quiet for the last couple of weeks. People have obviously been doing a wee bit of their investigation, so Bridgeman, if you want to read that out for us, mate, and hopefully we'll get some callers to comment on it when they're finished.
Absolutely. Just to let the people know, it's quite a wee lengthy statement here, so it'll take a few minutes to read out. And it's interspersed here and there, but we'll try and do the top and bottom. There's a whole load of emails regarding this stuff. So Club 1872 mail out today, or a statement out today. Club 1872 has, over the past few days, examined Glasgow City Council and Glasgow Life freedom of information, emails and documents relating to the denial of permission for a Rangers fan zone. The information released was extensive, despite Glasgow City Council previously informing Club 1872 that they held no information at all on this matter. The documents confirm the intervention of Council Leader Susan Aitken and Deputy Leader David MacDonald outside of due process for a quasi-judicial hearing. Although their names have been redacted by Glasgow City Council, multiple internal and external emails reveal their intervention at a meeting on the 1st of August, the night before the formal withdrawal by permission by Glasgow Life for the use of the facility. Club 1872 is in no doubt that this intervention was the reason for the withdrawal of permission. This matter should have been considered by the Licensing Committee hearing scheduled for August the 6th, which was subsequently cancelled. And then it shows you a whole load of the emails, and a lot of the stuff's been redacted on it, so I'm not even going to try and read these out at all. So I'm going to right down to the very bottom and give this is what they're saying at the end. They're saying, these emails paint a disturbing picture of elected councillors interfering in the licensing process and overturning the advice and guidance of more qualified council and Glasgow Life officials. Club 1872 has been encouraged by the efforts of the Glasgow City Council and Glasgow Life CEOs to engage with Rangers and make positive progress over the past few weeks. However, we remain deeply concerned at the actions of councillors Aitken, MacDonald and Dornan. What guarantees does the Rangers support have that these individuals will not try to intervene again, despite these positive discussions? Club 1872 will now progress our publicly stated action in this matter via the Commissioner for Ethical Standards in Public Life. We will also pursue the original response from Glasgow City Council, which claimed they held no information on the matter. Also with the Scottish Information Commissioner. It will not always be possible for us to publicly communicate our progress on these fronts as we follow the processes of these bodies. But members and the wider range of support should rest assured that Club 1872 will support this matter to a conclusion. End of statement.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting things there, boys. I think the same names are coming up that have been coming up a wee bit too often. I think sometimes really
Yeah.
when things like this keep coming towards you and the same names keep coming up, it's not coincidence. It's a lot different, more sinister.
It's absolutely not. And you used the right word there, in my opinion. All-Star sinister. That's exactly what it is. You know, we know the background, the Dornan, McDonald, and Aiken. We know where they're coming from, you know, but for the Glasgow City Council to, you know, initially say that they didn't have any information relating to the FOI, you know, to say they didn't have any information, it turns out they actually have got the information. Sure, so, you know, and if they're redacting stuff, you know, on emails, then it tells you everything you need to know. But as you say, it's the same names time and time and time again. And these were people, let's not forget, these were people who, after this was called out in the press by Rangers Football Club, these were the same people who then, shortly afterwards, came out with their own stuff in the press about how Rangers were pushing a sectarian angle on this, you know. It turns out they were telling lies, guys, as usual, and I'm not surprised in the slightest. Still, they were telling lies. It doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, it's a wee bit. Don't forget, it's like the Sinn Féin. They're using, to me, looking across the water here, they're using tactics of Sinn Féin, of nationalists. What nationalists do, they're replicating a lot of it. Because if you notice over here, even when it comes to crimes like murder, like what they done over here and different things they've done in the past, no matter how bad it is, they'll always try to put it as they're the victim.
Yep.
No matter how much the evidence is, to keep banging the victim's drum. That's what they do. And unfortunately, we see the same in the SNP. I can see it more and more as I watch it. Unfortunately, it's sad to see Scotland in this situation, Bridge, you know, because I don't think, you know, growing up, I looked across to Scotland. We have our own issues over here. Scotland, all right, they voted for who they voted for, but the SNP seems to be a different sort of breed of nationalism in Scotland, and unfortunately we can see Rangers we're feeling the brunt of it as a support, as a club. Would you agree, Bridge? Or?
Yeah, I think most of the boys, I see that JFK is in the call as well now, so I think most of us would agree with you that we can see differences, we can see how, well, we're still in a weakened state, shall we say, so we're politically easy to get at, and we're just starting to get back some strength. So we're still quite weak as a club, easy to get at. So wherever there's a bit of weakness, they're going to take full advantage. And it doesn't matter who they are; the people going to do it. That may, in fact, be the way of the world that we have to live with, and get ourselves get ourselves back on our feet as quickly as possible. Get some cash into the club and get ourselves back playing really good football, winning the games, and then we can fight them. Because we can't fight them 100% of the time like this.
Can I just make a wee quick point, Ulster? I don't know if you're going to bring Jimmy in shortly, but
Yes, we are, yes.
Quick point, Ulster. I'd like to congratulate Club 1872 on their work concerning this matter so far, because I think they've done really well. Well, fair play to them. I don't think, and this is a personal opinion, this is not a Rangers Radio opinion. My personal opinion of Club 1872 is they haven't always covered themselves in glory, in my opinion. But this year, I would like to congratulate them. I hope they keep on with this. I hope they don't let this go. We can't afford to allow this just to drop now. We have to keep out on it this now and uncover the whole seedy carry on from this lot. But well done to Club 1872. Really great work and great statement by them today, I thought.
Have to echo that. Just before we bring Jimmy in, I think we've been joined by Brian on the call. If Brian wants to come in first.
Yeah, well, it's the whole supporting the national team thing.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I joined a page on Facebook. It was No Surrender TV. They stream every Rangers game on Facebook. I don't know if it's allowed or not, but
probably not.
Probably not, but they do it anyway. But the guys that run it have been going through everybody's Facebook and deleting everybody that's a yes voter for independence, saying basically every yes voter is a traitor to Rangers, which I think is ridiculous. politics and Rangers is completely separate, I think. Football's football, politics is politics.
Well, this is it. I suppose as if the big support that we have, it's not everybody will be the same. Not everybody will think the same. That's just the way it is, isn't it? Really?
Ulster, can I just cut in here, pal?
Go ahead. Of course.
I don't think we should be speaking about this because it's a different platform we're speaking about, who have got their own support and their own ways of doing things. How far be it from us to criticise anyone, and we wish them luck in everything they do, but we really shouldn't be making too much comment on it. That's all I've got to say on that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bridge. It's a totally different forum. It's run by bears, and in my opinion, they're by the elbow. But it's not for us to comment on what another forum does.
Yeah. I understand that. It's just that it was a wee bit annoying.
No offence, Brian. Brian, no offence now. Don't take any offence, okay?
Nothing
no,
have you anything, Brandy? We were just discussing the Club 1870, the whole statement today, basically, and everything regarding the sort of fan zone and the situation. Have you any comments on that, mate? Or?
I've not actually saw the statement yet, but I've managed just to get online now.
Okay.
So I need a wee bit of update on that.
Well, Bridge has just read out the statement, basically. I think it's to do with the certain 3 councillors that have basically been saying that they weren't getting involved of trying to stop our Black Rangers from having the fan zone outside Ibrox Park, and it seems to be that these emails would indicate different.
Yeah, it's freedom of information stuff they've got, so they're fighting their cause, and it looks as if there's maybe a wee couple of porkies being told, or indeed somebody's not been shit. What do they call it again? Never mind. I can't remember. Something with the truth. Economical. Somebody's being economical with the truth. Let's put it that way.
See the least.
Just the usual then.
Well,
yes.
Yeah.
Well, let JFK. Just, do you want to come in? Mate? You've been sitting tight for a while there. We've also got True as well.
Good evening, lads. Good evening, Ulster. True, Bridge, and Rudy. I'm all right, pal.
Evening, Joey.
Even pal. It was interesting what you were saying there, Ulster, about things that happen over the water. As an orders with my brother who's travelled over by since 1974, and I can see a lot of comparisons happening here now. Without getting too deeply political into it, Glasgow's getting in the neck, especially the different organisations for the SNP Council, parades, etc., blah, blah, blah. But what they're actually doing here is total. They call us bigots. Now, what they're doing to Glasgow Rangers, or trying to do to Glasgow Rangers Club, is absolutely deplorable. And these people have got to be held accountable. As somebody who's stayed in Glasgow all their life, I had seen the ups and downs of things that have happened. But this here is why you're trying to down Rangers. And I know it's Rangers Online and we're here to talk about the Rangers Football Club now, but this does pertain to Rangers Football Club because they're trying to brush us away as if we were nothing, swat us away. And these, I'm not even going to name them because they're disgusting people. I tried to read that today, Rudy.
Aye.
All the redaction and all that in it. It was hard to read. We know who the names who have been redacted in it and the different things. And Bridge done the right thing. He skipped most of it. He gave us a guess date and then went to the bottom with 1872 we're looking to be doing. But we need to push this, and Rangers need to push this, because it's going to get worse if we don't. We deserve the fan zone. Hamdump get its fan zone. They get the Celtic way. Let us have our fan zone for the kids of Glasgow, especially in the Govan area. And it needs to be pursued vigorously. And I hope, I'm not a big fan of 1872 guys that I think like Masty's here, but this is a great statement of them today. And let's hope they pursue it. And they pursue it right to the very end. Let's not be fudged off here. We need to fight this, guys.
I absolutely agree with you 100%, Jimmy. 100%. This needs to be pursued and pursued vigorously now. We can't let this go. We can see what's afoot. We know what they're up to. They've been caught out red-handed. They've been caught out, excuse my figure of speech, but they're being caught out red-handed now. It's time to keep pushing on this and make sure we got all the information that's required. 100% in a way, Jimmy.
Here, here.
Okay. Well, Northern Ireland's losing 2-0, so hurry up. Get rid of this flipping Euro Cup and get the Rangers back on.
No be long, mate. No be long.
just before we bring True in, I'm just going to read this out. A wee thing today came from one of the Conservative group leader, Councillor David Mikael. I hope I'm saying that right, but that's the way it is to me, so that's how I'm pronouncing it. And he goes on to say, the release of these documents would appear to show that senior members of the SNP administration on Glasgow City Council have misled councillors and people across the city. It is extremely disturbing that a politician who came to power last year promising to clean up life has been apparently caught out in this way. I am calling for these claims to be fully investigated and for Councillor Aitken to submit herself to questioning by city councillors at a special meeting to be convened at the earliest opportunity. So that's a wee statement today from Conservatives on this matter.
Well, you hear that, man, Ulster. I saw that. That's what I did. Sorry, Ulster. I know you're...
all right, mate. You're fine. Go, I'll just call that True come in, then we'll see what you just want to take away from those comments.
All right, okay.
Well, sorry, go ahead, Rudy. You finish your point, mate. You were in full flow there.
All right, go ahead. You do it that way, guys.
I think that was a really good post by the Glasgow Conservatives. For me, I said it there 3 minutes ago. We've got to push this, and we've got to push it to the nth degree now, in my opinion. We know what they're up to. They now know that we know what they're all about. We know what they're all about, you know. And this is a good wee post I thought by the Glasgow Conservatives I saw earlier on. We need more MPs and more councillors. They now come out and start calling them out for what they truly are and what their agenda is. Their agenda can be seen now by all, and it's there for everybody to see in these emails, in my opinion. Sorry, True, on you go, mate.
Oh, you're all right, pal. You got to make your point at this juncture with this kind of nonsense going on. Yeah. The only people that can address this is the club. There is also an ethics committee for public servants. They should be involved in it as well. But that's the driving force behind this will need to be the club. They suggested that they put in their application and it was refused. But again, there are people denying they were involved in that and playing the victim card and all the rest of it. We was getting threatened. It was nothing to do with us, blah, blah, blah. Usual nonsense. This is what we get. But then again, tell you, when you go to the ballot box, think about who you're voting for. No again, no again, no again. Simple as that. Have all the referendums you want. You'll never change my mind, you heat bangers. Because I know how bitter and twisted you are against us and how you would like to just wipe us out and put us away in a wee corner somewhere. So get it right up ease. I hope the club comes after you as hard as they can.
I'm going for a drink now. That was brilliant.
I feel like shouting no surrender after that.
No surrender.
Aye. God save a queen.
Well, see, to be honest though, I'll take your comments, FK, after. Like, I think the boys make fair points, you know, especially True there about the club. You know, the club has to pursue this because the fans we've been called upon time and time again, in the club's darkest hours. We've come out, we've supported. This is a wee perk for us, the fans. This fan zone, and for the whole support, both the young and old, and I think this is something the club has to fight, not just to support on their own, because this is where the club needs to back us. We back the club at all times. I think the club now needs to back the fans.
Look, at all costs, Ulster, that it's nothing. This is nothing to do with that they think that it's detrimental to the old Harmony Row pitch that's there, and that the pitch is only used a couple of times. This is their way of trying to down Rangers. You know, as True Blue said there, it's no, 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 and always no. You know, living in Glasgow, I was in Glasgow, and I don't want the show to become a political tonight, but living in Glasgow now, I mean, George Square is a famous place where there's the epitaph, and the 11th of November, I'll be there before we go to the Rangers game that day, paying my respects. But the SNP are allowing, as the Glasgow City Council, to be renamed, banners put up called Freedom Square when they congregate there, and they allow Republican bands to play at these things. That just tells you everything you need to know about Glasgow City Council under the governance SNP. They're out to down as not just Rangers guys, they're out to down as Protestants. And I can see a mirror image here. As I say, my friend there, Ulster, I've been coming into Northern Ireland over the water since 1974 as an oarsman and a bandsman. And I can see a lot of similarities happening here. That it's woe me all the time, as if it's us it's doing the wrong. And it's no, I want to live a normal life. I don't want to have these bigots at me all the time. And that's all they are. Leave my club alone and let us get on to it. The fan zone is a fantastic idea. No matter what club it is in the world, have a fan zone for the kids.
Can I come in on that? Sorry, Jimmy.
Just quickly, sorry, our callers come in there. When I say a wee caller, our callers come in. If we can, Magpie. I think it's Magpie. Is that you, mate? How you keeping, mate? Doing well, thank you.
Not bad, mate. Listen, I'm sorry I was listening to your show, and I'm not going to turn it into a political show, but let me just say something. See anybody that votes for the SNP, it's up to you. Good luck to you. But it's why we're in this position we're in this country, mate, with the minority ruling majority. And you can call me a head case or call you want. Do they read the Twitter pages at local, elected SNP politicians? Do they actually read them? Yousaf, a man putting the boot in the Rangers, slagging Rangers officer, thinking it's a joke, when we came through 6 years of crap. This is the same man that's been elected, right, as a transport minister, just to tick some certain boxes, right, okay? And then he made such a mess of that job, he's now got another post, and only recently said that if you can be jailed or you can be arrested or anything if you say anything discriminatory towards a woman, which is fine. But when Rangers fans actually said about hate crimes, why didn't you do anything about the 9 people that were released for the effigies of the Orangemen hanging from Celtic Park? How they got up there? Celtic were never asked how they managed to get past their stewards and the police and actually put up there. Nothing was said. Why wasn't there a hate crime? Why did they mention anything in Twitter about that? This is the people that are elected in this country, and believe me, they're not Rangers-minded and they're not Rangers-friendly. You can just look at that picture of that IRA-loving pub in Guffin that Sam and that character was in, and another one. So I'm sorry, see the guy that came on, I don't know his name. I'm not going to tell anybody, don't vote for the SNP. But believe me, I cannot understand how any Rangers supporter would vote for the SNP, because you ain't voting for people who are... There's SNP, and there's a lot of guys on here at Ulster who are old enough to know that the SNP were a joke party. All of a sudden, they've just... Where have they came from? And do you know where they came from? Old Labour. Mate, we have been like this for a long time. John Reid came, done a job, done a number in Rangers, and it's happened in every position in power. You will not find a Rangers-friendly person. Yeah. Right, so anybody, I'm sorry for coming on here and getting down with it, because I don't really want to have a go at people for voting SNP. I'm telling you where I was. I was the day I was canvassing down beside the Bristol Bar on Duke Street that night with the referendum, independence referendum, and I came back on to Rangers Radio. I was on at 5 in the morning, and it was a magnificent night. And I just do not want to be part of an independent Scotland, because being an independent Scotland, we are basically second-class citizens. I want the day to come, Ulster, when the Rangers can sell their strips and the merchandise, and I walk through Glasgow City Centre and I see blue in that city centre again. I want to see a fan zone for Rangers fans when we're playing in a European match. Novan, Borussia Mönchengladbach are playing Celtic. They had one in George Square. It taxpayers some money, but Rangers can't get a fan zone outside their own ground. Come on, mate. See the guy who said people should be allowed to vote SNP? Good luck to you, mate, because you're part of the problem. Yeah. You're part of the problem that where we are today. And I love Rangers, and I love my faith. And I'll tell you this for nothing, mate. I'm appalled and disgusted by what's happening in this country, and I feel helpless. And I did say to Ox, and I mean it, if this mob ever get in, I'm out of this country. I'm out here to England because I could not live under that. So sorry for the rant, lads, but I'm just...
Good rant.
See, to be honest, I hear JFK as well, the two of you are sort of apologising for coming across, political, but hold on, you need to remember, we as a support didn't bring any politics into this. It was SNP councillors butted their nose into somewhere it didn't need to be. So it's them who, if anyone's made it political, guys, it's them. We're just commenting as a support. I can hear it, and as true, I'm sure you can hear it as well, especially in Magpie's voice there, with passion. And
aye, mate.
It's a sad state of affairs.
Of course I can. Can I make a couple of points here, mate? The first thing I'll say is anybody surprised?
No.
That is the biggest problem to me. That is the biggest problem. We've been stripped in this country of voice. We don't have a voice. And they're only in there, the SNP are in there through default because the Tories, Thatcher put down to them. And can you vote for Corbyn? Let's be honest. No, I don't think so. But the situation is, we were talking about the Gascoigne thing the other night, the Gaza thing with the SFA. I made a statement the other night. I said, this is just the latest death by 1,000 cuts. This will fall away the next time something else comes along. So something else has now come along. How long is it going to take us to waken up to this? How long?
Bridgeman?
Well, obviously I don't know the answer to that, True Blue. I think it may take quite a while, although there's rustlings of it. And voices like your own and Magpie, you've got an awful lot of agreement. Lots of people are agreeing with it. I have to say, though, I don't want to say how a person votes and how they don't vote. I could be surprised at someone's choice of voting, let's put it that way. But it's certainly not for me, and I don't think it's for Rangers Radio to say who should vote for what. But never mind, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and really let's go on with it. Can I just say this? Following on from all this nonsense about the fan zone and so on and so forth, what I've got here in front of me is an extract from Follow. And what it's saying is here, there's been a freedom of information request. And this guy's he said he wanted all this information. He says, this guy's saying, I've taken this data and compared it against our home games since 2016 season. Okay? So what he's saying is that there are 9 days since the 2016 season where the Ibrox complex was booked during a home game. There were 16 days since 2016 season where the Ibrox complex was booked up to around an hour and a half before the game kicked off. For reference, we played 62 games during this period. So there you go. That tells you how well booked that place has been. And you and I know, people that go to Ibrox know, I have only seen one or two wee kickabouts, or look like wee kickabouts of football on that place where they wanted the fans on. So these people are telling we porkies in their own inimitable way. Yeah. That's all I can say.
Can I just just jump in there, also? Is that all right?
Yes, of course.
The Argyle House, etc., and all the facilities on about Ibrox now that we don't get into that much now, but they run all sorts of conferences. But I can tell you 100% categorically. And Magpie, by the way, good rant, mate. It wasn't really a rant; it was a brilliant speech, pal. But the Glasgow City Council prefer, I've been told, to use Pedodome for all conference facilities in Glasgow, right? Rather than use anywhere else. And that includes even being given access in SECC. They very, very, very rarely use Rangers Football Club for any sort of conference thing that's going on. They always use the Pedodome. That tells you, and that's been going on for years, guys. But it's getting worse. The SNP have got their rotten claws into us. And as Magpie says here, I don't stay that far away from Magpie, maybe 20 minutes for the Bristol Bar, a pub I've frequented quite a few times. And I can understand how Magpie feels. And like Bridge says, I'm not here to tell anybody how they should or should not vote. But Menzies always been a no, and it always will be. But I'll take it a step further than Magpie. Magpie says here, he doesn't see why any Rangers fan should ever vote SNP. I don't know why any Protestant should ever decide that they want to go and vote SNP. Because see the day, that's disgusting. Disgusting being a Protestant in Scotland and vote SNP, especially if you're a Protestant in Glasgow. And I'm absolutely astonished at what's happening. Do you know something? When I'm saying astonished, I'm not surprised because I could see it coming. The last 4 or 5 years, I saw a lot of things happening, but knew that they're in, and they're in big time in Glasgow. They're going to try and rip the throat out of us, guys. We need to fight back. We need to fight back.
Well said, Jimmy. Well said.
Rudy, you want to come in there?
I agree with Jimmy and Magpie 100%. I've noticed recently, as far as the politics goes, and I know you don't want to turn this into a politics show, but look, we never made it politics. They did, not us, so we have to fix it. I've noticed recently on social media there seems to be a proliferation of these fake accounts claiming to be Rangers supporters and voting for the SNP, they vote for they're into independence, they want independence, they're going to vote for independence. Yet when you look at these accounts closely, there is literally no connection to Rangers, the Rangers support whatsoever. And it seems to be something that's happening much more recently than I've ever noticed it. And I'm talking about just in the last few months. There's a concerted effort by people who are trying to divide the Rangers support now. They're trying to divide the Rangers support. They'll put a post on claiming to be a Rangers supporter. There's absolutely nothing in their timeline that tells you that they're a Rangers supporter. And then they start condemning the club and making snide remarks about the club. And I'm not having it. I'm not wearing this. These people are not Rangers supporters. As I said, it's a concerted effort to split the Rangers support because the SNP and their followers know they will not get independence if it's down to the unionists that follow Rangers Football Club. And I'm not falling for it.
Can I just come in there, True Blue?
On you go.
I just want to say, we need to watch what we're doing here. We don't want to be going down this road into a political spree tonight. Please, we just need to watch what we're doing. The show's too valuable. We've got a platform. Let's use it properly.
Minute Bridge, we've also got to be able to start fighting back.
Yes, understand. We've said all that. We want to fight back.
Saying it, Bridge, as well. We're going to keep saying it. Because the only way you can fight back is by putting the information out there that's required. These people like to work in wee dark rooms and wee dark corners and try and keep everything hidden away from the general public, especially the Rangers support. If the FOI hadn't gone in from Club 1872, we would never had the proof about Aiken, McDonnell and Dornan. And we've got the proof now. And it's up to us now to keep pushing this. We don't need to turn it, you're right, we don't need to turn it into a political show, Bridge, but we have to put the information out there.
As long as we can make comment as much as we want, right? I'm not saying not to make comment. Just don't, we need to watch what we're saying.
Can I come in? I understand exactly what you're saying, but you know what, that's the problem. I said, why are we all running scared? What were we saying? We're talking for Rangers support to Rangers supporters. It's Rangers supporters who should be listening to this and nobody else, because I certainly when they listen to a Celtic forum. And I'm not actually saying, I'm telling you right now, we all know what's happening in this country. And I think the fact that we've all been silent for far too long, that's the problem. Now, I'll go for a step further. I would love, they talked about that transparency. Remember, Rangers, we need transparency. I'd love transparency. I'd love transparency right through the whole spectrum of Scotland. Who are the editors of the newspapers? What's their faith? What is their connection with Celtic Football Club? Let's go further. Look at the lawyers, right? The top ones. SFA had the same lawyers as Celtic. They're the same lawyers. How can that not be a conflict of interest, okay? And then you can go further at the politicians. Let's look at Celtic. Right? I work down the park beside Celtic Park, as you know. I've been working quite a lot. And I'll tell you this right now, I have seen a big difference in Celtic Park. I stay in Ridley, and I went away on holiday for 3 weeks, 2 weeks. For 4 weeks, I came back. The rubbish was still outside my house. I'd phoned to get lifted. I phoned them up, and basically, he says, "Oh yeah, well you've still got another week to go." I said, "Well, I'm right outside Celtic Park." I said, "When I phone up, the gentleman I suppose stuff's lifted the same day." And I made a joke. I said, "Is it because it's beside Celtic Park?" And the woman said, "Oh, don't you be so stupid. I'm hanging up on you." I spoke to somebody else about it, and the woman admitted. She admitted If that would happen, she says, well, Celtic pay X amount of money. I said, no, the taxpayer pay that X amount of money. They're going to get a hotel bill up there. They've got an Emirates Stadium bill up there. See, when people are at the Emirates Stadium, tourists going to watch it, where do they walk over to buy merchandise? Celtic Park, they've got it. Everything they want, mate. District Council sat there and they voted for it. About 6 of them were Celtic fans between SNP and Finley. Ask them, why don't you go to these politicians and say, what team do you support? And why are you getting involved in? And why is somebody, you know, like Yusuf, slagging Rangers off for getting beat 5-1? When we're suffering 6 years, we've suffered. It's no joke. You know what I mean? And he thinks it's funny to put the boot in. When we talk about hate crimes, if I was to say to somebody, nice bum to a woman, I could get done for that. That's if he wants to bring in, yeah, you can hang effigies up at Celtic Park. Why was nobody asked how these guys got that in there? They must have blew it up when they were in there. Somebody must have seen them. They must have come on somebody's shoulders to put it up there. The police and the stewards were there, and Celtic were never held accountable. And it was just, you know, and yet, Gassa gets called a sectarian for an imaginary float he knew nothing about. When you've got that arsehole flying an Irish tricolour and the Celtic end, an arsehole that's put stuff on Rangers goalposts, an arsehole spat in the Rangers crest, and nothing's done about it. And he's the poster boy for Scottish football. This is the society we live in, Bridge. No, I'm sorry, I don't want to get Rangers Radio into trouble. It's my beliefs. I'm responsible, not Rangers Radio. I'm responsible for my beliefs. But you tell me if you think that's right, because that's no. And I for one will not take it any longer. I'd see tomorrow. I'd be the first one down. If there's a march on, I'd be the first one.
Magpie, please. We're nobody's saying the content of what you're saying is wrong, because we all believe it. All we're saying is this Rangers Radio.
Some are still voting for that crowd, mate.
I know that, but that's an entirely different thing.
And can I just say something? Bridge, we have never had more powers in the whole history of politics. Have Scottish had the powers? Scotland had the powers have been handed, and they want more, and they're not capable of dealing with it, mate. Because
remember we're Rangers Radio, so we want to
get back on it.
If we can, just get it back into Rangers if you don't mind.
Well, can I just say something, mate? Right, see, I'll bring it back to Rangers. What's happened to Scotland international team for me, I'm enjoying wholeheartedly. Anybody who selects Celtic players who don't even know what a winning away from home in Europe looks like is incredible. Right. Another thing is, they voted for Rangers to go down. In a small country with a lot of shithole teams, they voted for Rangers to go down to the lowest league. I do not know any other country would do that. But the hatred in this country, the football that fans love to hate the game to death, have got what they wanted. They've got an international team they've gone there. They've got no competition for a league. And we're a joke. And they've got what they wanted. And that's it now. I just pray that Rangers get it together, because this will be the sweetest in my lifetime league victory. I love the Rangers. I love my faith. And I love being a Rangers fan, and that's all that matters. But I'll tell you, mate, let's not gloss over this thing. If you want to vote for the SNP, go onto Twitter and look what their MSPs are saying. That's what you need to do. I don't know who was talking earlier on. He's right. All these fake accounts have come up, and people have called them out and said, I don't see anything in your timeline to suggest you're a Rangers fan. This is what they're doing. It's very clever. It's calculated. And this is my own opinion, when Dr. John Reid came for his 2 years and turned the whole of Scottish football upside down, the media, from the media to the newspapers, right, to the lawyers, to everything. You cannot get see, if you're an actor in here and you're a Rangers fan, it's a dirty word. People are pretending on the Rangers fans. Well, I'm bloody proud to be one, Bridge. Proud to be one.
You're not alone. Remember, you're not alone, right? We're all the same, right? We're all the same. Just let's get the show back to where we want to.
Just quickly, is Foxy there? And just want to see if Foxy had anything to say on it. I don't know if he's available.
I'm here, mate. Still struggling on from my illness, but still here.
How you doing?
Anything you want to say, Foxy? Because we're going to move on eventually to a few things Gaza said today, but I'll just give you your few minutes.
Well, on what all the boys have been speaking about, and the boy Brian that came on and asked why we don't want people to vote SNP. They have brought politics into football. this was warned about. I can remember being on programmes over 5-6 years ago, telling people what was going on, and nobody would believe it. It was rife on the football forums at times that this was a prolonged and definite attack on not only Rangers but the Protestant people of Glasgow, where the council and the SNP and their dealings to put our club down so that they could disenfranchise the Protestant population, and the SNP would march on and get a victory for independence. Since they never got that, they've turned their political aims towards anything to do with Rangers, ably helped by the press in this country, who are paid lackeys, to do these sorts of deeds. And this is what Club 1872 have discovered is only a small finding in a long list of things that's went on in the last 5 to 10 years. The awarding of the Commonwealth Games to Parkhead should be thoroughly investigated, because that was, for me, that could have been built into a poor area, which was at the back of Hampden, coming down towards the old Shawfield. Some of the events could have been built in there, especially the cycling place. It didn't have to go to Parkhead area. It was just another excuse to pour money into the East End and benefit one club. This will not end until the voting public in this country go out there and put their marks on ballot papers and finally see that it's not just a wee joke that's made up. This is going on all the time, and it's time to put an end to it.
Brilliant, Fox. And just very quickly, lads, and this will be the last I'll say this. The fact that the Commonwealth Games was held at Celtic Park, a place that's never had a Union Jack flying above it in its puff, and the fact that it was the Queen's Games, that's a hypocrisy. That's you know what I mean? That's like taking it to some place that somebody is anti. Do you know what I mean? You're perfectly right, mate. I walked in there. I see the difference. I see the difference to there. If you go up to Ibrox, there's no place for you to park your car for miles and miles and miles. See there? There's cars outside and the guy's pavement, I support, and he's just 5 minutes for it. They're everywhere. They're allowed to park wherever they want. Yep. It's different for Rangers fans.
See just on that, Magpie, the rush to build the houses on that spare bit of land was absolutely amazing to me.
Oh.
That was the only place that we could honestly have built another car park to help relieve the congestion over our side of the city. And what did they do? They rushed it through the plans to build day flats so that land then became unusable for us, mate.
And the problem is, Fox,
people don't see these things, but it's happening all the time, mate.
And mate, I'll tell you what, they've got so many apologists. I said the other night on the lobby, right, and I mean this. See, if there's anybody there's got Rangers sports clubs, you don't need to take, obviously this is what I would suggest, please don't have Jim White come up and talking to you, right, because he just doesn't do us any favours at all, because he's another one that takes the shilling, that, you know what I mean, that pays him. He's a guy who puts the boot into Rangers at every occasion, and then I read that he's at Rangers functions, talking, just let's keep it Rangers, let's keep Rangers for Rangers and Rangers for real Rangers fans. I'll never turn their back. My teammate, and I will never turn my back on my faith. And I love you guys to death, man. I really do.
Never mind the Fleurs. I was up Robin Vittany's chest today.
What Bridgie's saying there is right. I mean, I know it's Rangers and it's a Rangers phone-in, but there's time to time that phone-ins like this end up being political, motivated, and that's what's happened. But it wasn't us that done it. You know, going on to what Fox was saying and Magpie, you know, I go to the basketball at the Emirates right? And I'm not going off on a tangent here, guys, but when I go to the basketball with my wife and we get there, and they're playing at the Pedo Dome that day, we can't get the use of the car park because the car park for the Emirates is used for the Celtic buses. See the buses, no away fans buses, but Celtic supporters buses. The green and grey buses all go in there. So we're pushed away down Dalmarnock and things like that. That's no right. I'm a taxpayer. The Emirates belongs to the Glasgow people, not to Celtic Football Club. And that's what Magpie's talking about. They're getting everything and anything. Same as Fox saying the Hoosies about. No, we don't want to make it political, but they are. So if we sit here all night and talk politics, it's because they did it to us. Not because we want to sit here and talk about SNP and Labour and whatever all night. It's because they did this to us. And it's hurting. I'm the same as Magpie. It hurts me. You know, as not just as a Rangers fan, guys, as a Protestant. I'm a Protestant and I love my club and I love my country. I love my culture and I love my faith. And I can see that being eroded. And they're trying to erode Rangers. But we need to keep fighting back. And the only way to fight back is, Fox says, don't put your cross in the box for them. Plain and simple, guys.
Well done, John. Here.
I'll ask a question of the Bridgeman because I know he's an avid supporter of the BBC in Scotland. But seriously, you know, with recent events and stuff, Bridge, would you not expect the BBC Scotland, who love doing investigations, not to be getting involved in this and seeing what's going on? Because I think a lot of stuff's coming out of the wash here, you know.
I doubt very much if you're going to see that. Not certainly in my opinion, not in the foreseeable future. I think that the BBC and to a certain extent the STV, I think it's endemic within them at the moment. With their working population they've got in their places. I don't think that will change. To be perfectly honest, I think Club 1872 is probably starting to do what a lot of Rangers fans wanted them to do. Is to actually get in there and support the fans and take up the cudgel for the fans against the powers that be, the authorities. And initially I meant the footballing authorities because they're much the same as the BBC and STV in my opinion. So yes, there's a lot to be done. You get disappointed, but I don't think we should be, shall we say, we can still be disappointed in the BBC and STV and the Radio Clyde and others. If Rangers are playing at Ibrox, and in the last few times we've played at Ibrox midweek, or it's a Sunday game, there is no coverage, radio coverage or TV coverage, right? None. That's the way it is. You just don't get it. So I think that somewhere along the line, and that's because the BBC won't. I don't even for radio coverage. They won't come to Ibrox because of whatever block there's been on that Egypt golem. So somewhere along the line, we have to get all that solved. In my opinion, it has to be solved. But being as I am and being as, shall we say, embittered as a lot of the boys on here are, I personally don't want the BBC back at Ibrox at all. But yes, you're absolutely right. It should be someone like a BBC, so Radio Clyde, any of the media, any of the newspapers should all be able to look into this and pick out and say, that's no right. They don't need to say who's done what. All they need to say is, that's no right. We're going to investigate this. But they don't do it.
Well, see, that's the point I'm trying to make. I think this episode's been playing out and it's been well documented these last few weeks and months of what's happening. And this information is out there. All you have to do is go and find it. Why is the Rangers support having to go and dig out this information for themselves when there's people and there's organisations in Scotland whose job is if there is scandals, especially politically, against one side of the community, it should be up to them to be finding these things, not the Rangers support. But just before we go on to that, I think we've been joined by Blue Shadow.
Have indeed, man. How you doing?
Hey, Blue Shadow.
Do you want to fire your comments worth in?
Well, my couple of minutes with this. I just want to clarify something here. This chap we're talking about Dornan, is this James Dornan, the MSP?
Stephen.
I think it's his brother or his cousin or something like that.
Tudor, because you have to remember as well that the other Dornan has been made, is now heading up a committee in Holyrood that is battling sectarianism in Scotland. And if people don't think that that's not going to affect the Rangers' support, then I'm afraid I think you're highly mistaken.
Yeah,
absolutely. I agree with you, Blue Shadow.
Yep.
If you look at some of the people that's on that panel, I think there's 5 of them. You've got John Mason on there as well. How laughable is that? That these absolute morons, people who've been responsible for sectarianism in this country, you get to head up a commission looking into sectarianism in Scotland. Have a wee look at the rest of the panel and you see who's on it. Shameful.
Can I come in, lads, very quickly? If you look at even that, right, I mean, see, the sad thing is, Ulster, basically, it wouldn't matter if Club 1872 or anybody, even Rangers, when they put a statement forward, it gets laughed at with the press. We don't have a voice in the press. They'll turn it round as if, we're paranoid Rangers, paranoid Protestants, and that's how it comes. With Gerrard coming in, there is now more exposure in England, and that's where I want to get it to. Now, I know a lot of people have lobbied BBC in England about BBC Scotland, and then they just refer it. It actually goes to Northern Ireland, your complaint, and then it goes to England, and then it comes back to BBC Scotland. What do you think about this? And they just poo-ha it. Do you know what I mean? The truth of the matter is, we don't have a voice. And see what you're talking about, like these Mason and Dornan and Gran, there's that FARE, FARE, the pirate power who's the lead top man in that, his Asian wife is a Celtic supporter. There's actually a footage here singing anti-British soldier songs at Highbury, at the Emirates, when they're playing Arsenal. It's there, and she's got a cheek to talk about sectarianism. They've been at every Rangers European match, but we don't know how many have been at Celtic matches, and apparently Rangers have been, in the Heart and Hand podcast, they were basically saying that Rangers have been reported at every single game with them about singing certain words and certain songs. This is who we're up against. And this is why I'm so passionate tonight, and so I am so embittered. There isn't a day goes by it doesn't go through my head the unfairness, everything that's happened over the last 6 years. As far as I'm concerned, lads, we should never have been demoted. I'd like to know how much money Rangers actually lost. I'm talking about the money the players that left, the money that was held back from us that kept Scottish football afloat. That money for that year, we've kept Scottish football. As soon as we were making money and we were filling grounds, they could not wait to include us in an SPFL so that they could get a wee bit of the cherry. This is what Rangers are. This is all we are, a money-making exercise for these people. But you know something? I just pray that we do get a voice. I don't know if there is any. It's sad, Ulster, they've had to go to Northern Ireland to get some of the guys for the DUP to talk up for Rangers because there's nobody here got the guts to do it in this country.
It's true. I know I've noticed that a few times, mate. It shouldn't have to happen, Shouldn't have to happen. But to be fair now, I'm not trying to persuade anybody to go. But what I have been watching, especially over this fan zone thing, I've seen more and more of the Conservatives they are speaking up. It's been lately. It's probably too long. It should have been done a long, long time ago. It shouldn't have had to wait for this to come out. But I've noticed it on the Twitter, especially that people starting to put their heads above the parapet finally for Rangers. True, you got anything to say on what Magpies sort of saying, or we'll close up here before we have a tune?
I was actually away for a second there. I didn't hear what Magpie said, but I agree with every word there. and another thing is, I know the show's not a political show, but some of the guys have pointed it out. We didn't make this political. Yeah, we actually used to do a politics show on a Sunday night on here, and we stopped it. And we went on to just talk.
Political, if you look at it, that's what they say. Political songs they sing. That
was the point I was going to make, Magpie. But this, you're talking about that sectarian committee. This is because they had that offensive behaviour at football, threatening communications act booted out. This is their way of trying to get back. And it's strange that all the members of that are all the same persuasion. Sorry, Bridge, go ahead.
No, please. I thought you'd finished there. Sorry, True.
So I think this is just another bit put into the mix, and the next thing will be a set of prescribed songs that are going to get banned and all the rest of it. I don't know another club in the country that's had their song banned anywhere, and you talk about free speech and everything else.
Yeah.
So it is political, lads.
Well,
I know, but the point I'm trying to make, Magpie, is this is political. It's political for top to bottom. With a healthy dose of bigotry thrown in as well, mate.
And then turn it on as if it's sausage for the bigots.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Can I just come in on that? Just because the wee panel that they've set up to investigate sectarianism, much like the sort of offences at Football Act and so on and so forth before it, they were set up and devised and invented, call it what you like, to go in there and they would destroy Rangers because it's the only Rangers they were looking at. But they found out that, by the way, they're arresting a whole load of them across the road because their fans are, shall we say, pretty bad. I don't want to go too much further than that, should I say. So their fans are pretty bad, and they were getting arrested. So they started, they got a huge squad of fans to moan and groan, and now absolutely you can see it now. They've got that gone. So this committee they've got set up is even more powerful, and they're going to investigate sectarianism, and they ain't looking anywhere else. Can I just tell you this? Nowhere else in Scotland are they looking other than Ibrox.
Yep.
Any tool that we use, including any forums that we use, any radio stations like we've got now, anything like that will be targeted, and they will be targeted big style, and that's for sure.
I think that's bridged up there's way boys like Magpie and Rudy and JFK and Drew are canvassing so much on the show tonight, especially tonight, because we know this is coming. Like, as I says to the guys, I know this offensive Football Act or whatever it is, and people were celebrating that it was took down. And as I said to the guys at the time, listen, if I know anything about over here especially, if them say take away anything, they'll be putting something twice as bad and pointing in a different direction when the new bill comes in. So unfortunately, I have to agree with you. This one probably hurt the Rangers.
It's a good point you're making, you and Bridgman there, Ulster. When the Offa Act came in, they never thought for a minute it was going to affect them because it wasn't supposed to affect them. That was the whole idea. It wasn't supposed to affect them. It was supposed to affect us and our club. But it didn't turn out that way. So that's a good point that you make. When the Offa Act was got rid of, a lot of people were running about punching the air. And I remember at the time, me and my mate sat having a pint, we were chatting about it, and my mate said to me, you wait, there's something else coming. They're not going to let this go lightly. You look at that committee, they've got bigots on that committee. Bigots who are supposed to be looking into sectarianism. Well, come on, let's be honest about it. We know exactly where they're going to be looking for it, don't we? And it's certainly not in the city.
Rudy, they're doing, or they did, a survey of the Scottish football fans, and this is in the BBC's words. I read this on Follow. Somebody put it in the post last week there. They did a survey on the BBC for all football fans, and and I know there'll be no Rangers fans went into that and did that for them, that survey. Never did the survey, but that's going to be their Bible. I'm talking about BBC. So they're going to say whatever the opinion is of that survey, and they're going to use that as their stats. And that's it. So the Rangers fans, to all intents and purposes, have never had a say. They've never had a say in what this mob are going to try and do. I'm sure of it.
Well, we're just near enough time for a tune, I think, guys. And then we're going to come on the
Ulster, you need to make it. Can we not make a tune like Craig Thompson? You're a lovely referee. We really like you. And the bloke's a jolly good fellow. Something like that. And that way, that'll scare them. They don't know what to do, will they? maybe do it for the offensive singing, my singing.
Listen, guys, I need to drop out, okay?
Cheers, Blue. Thanks very much for coming in, pal.
Right, Jimmy. Bye.
Just a quick clarification. I don't think could anybody remember back to when Hunter was on the show? He approached Police Scotland and he said, and Police Scotland told him Rangers do not have any songs that are banned.
Yes, correct.
Yep.
But that'll change.
That'll change. That'll change. I'm sure.
I'm not saying it was. I've just corrected it before the shoot.
Yep.
We'll go for a wee tune then, guys, if you would go on me.
Rangers, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. Won't you come and cheer us? Help the boys along. White and blue, coming through with a song. Oh, Rangers, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. We'll be there to do it, do it if we can. Win the cup, hold it up in our hand. Oh, Rangers, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay.
Oh, thanks very much for that, guys, putting the wee tune on for us. So I think we're going to come on to the Gascoigne situation again, because he's obviously made a wee statement today on everything what's happened in recent events. So he says, I played... Oh, let me see. I've knocked that off. I played some of the best football in my career at Rangers and love the support of the fans. I don't need to be in the Scottish Hall of Fame to be recognised as one of the best, as I feel the love and support of the people. And I know I was the best. Love you all, Gaza. And then his next tweet, he puts a picture of himself, a video of himself scoring that goal v Scotland. That's infamous or famous, whatever way you want to look at it. And no hard feelings, kiss, kiss, kiss at the Scottish FA.
That was to the SFA.
That was the SFA. So, Bridgeman, you want to go first on that?
Oh, no, I love it. I love it. I think, in a way, he's kind of stolen a lot of people's thunder, because a lot of folk have been fighting for him, and there's what do you call them? Wee votes taking place for looking for people to get him back in to the Hall of Fame. And I think there's 16,000 or more than that, maybe 20,000 people have voted in this, I don't know, a referendum type thing they've got online, to get him back in. So that might run for a few weeks. But I think, to be perfectly honest with you, much as I sort of applaud them, the way things are in Scottish football, I don't know if they'll be able to change anybody's mind on that. However, he's came out, said what he said, and I think that's just different class. Different class. No animosity. Away you go. Look, here's what I think of you guys. Here's the best goal I've scored at international level in a long, long career. Thank you. I think that's brilliant. Really brilliant. Some folk will see different.
I agree with
you.
Go ahead,
really.
Man, I thought it was a fantastic wee post they put on. I thought the wee video of him scoring that brilliant goal against Scotland, I thought that was a top piece of trolling from him. I thought it was excellent. I laughed my nuts off when I saw that. I just, the wee message at the end, love, love, kiss, 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 to the SFA. I thought it was brilliant. And I think, I know that their heart's in the right place, the Rangers support. They've set up this petition. I haven't looked at it, today, so I don't know how many. I mean, you're saying about 20,000 maybe, Bridgeman. I don't really know.
Well, it's roughly, yeah.
Aye. So, and their heart's in the right place, obviously, But for me, after everything that's gone on, there's moves afoot to try and, get him back in there for the Hall of Fame, Scottish Hall of Fame. If I was Paul Gascoigne, I would tell him to shove it and wedge it as far up could, personally, if I was Paul Gascoigne. And I think that's exactly what he would do, even if they did change their mind, as they've made such a mess of this. And we know why they've done it. You know what I mean? It's down to the SFA, people at the SFA. So for me, if I was Gascoigne, I'd just tell him to shove it. I think his couple of messages today on social media, for me, it was the right way to go about it as far as Paul Gascoigne is concerned. He'd done it brilliantly. For me, and fair play to him.
JFK?
Caller on the phone.
Oh, have another caller. Hello?
I think she's just listening in.
Yeah, I'm just listening at the moment.
Oh, you're just listening in? Okay, no problem. Let me see. JFK, do you want to come on? Because I don't think Magpie hasn't said too much about it. Gascoigne hasn't been on, so I'll go to him last. So you want to come in, JFK, and put Gaz's post today?
I agree there that Rudy was saying there. I think, tell him to shove it. There's only one Hall of Fame that matters now to guys, and that's the Rangers Hall of Fame. Everything's been said about it now. It's kind of chip paper news new, isn't it, guys? It's kind of fell away now.
Interject here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Hi. I just wanted to say, why have they not said anything? You know, like the Rangers board themselves, why have they not said anything?
Well, do you want to answer that one, Blue?
I don't know if Blue's on with us. Is he on with us? Maybe
can I come in?
Go ahead, Jimmy. You answer.
Hi, little Blue. How you doing?
Hi there.
JFK here. I met you in the Loudon Tavern a few weeks ago. You might remember. Were you sober?
Yeah, I was sober.
It was nice to meet you anyway, darling. I'm not a bit the same as you, little Blue. I thought Rangers should have said at the time, but unfortunately they didn't. So I think it's the ship sailed now. I think now that we should just let it go. If Gaza's had a great response today and said that no, I am a legend, basically, and we all know that. They doesn't need to tell us that. Rangers they should have made a statement at the time. That was my opinion. I don't think they need to do it now. I think, as I said, it's a chip shop paper now. It's all news. It's kind of sliding away now, and I think now, but pardon the pun, there's bigger fish to fry now with the revelations we had earlier on, which we're not going to go back to.
No.
But if he's going to get offered it again, I think you should give him the finger and say, don't even say thanks, but no thanks. Just say no for me. It's done now, and that's it.
Do you think in that circumstance that all Rangers footballers should follow suit in that manner?
In what way?
If they, any of the Rangers players in the future, if they got offered to go into the Hall of Fame, the Scottish Hall of Fame, do you think that they should all be following suit and saying the same thing?
No. I don't think any Rangers player who's inducted into the Hall of Fame in the future should refuse it. I think that would be cutting their nose off to spite their face. I think that what's happened here is that people have the moral high ground, little Blue, right? But they've taken the silly moral high ground. We all know what Gaza did. But unfortunately, that was the way his life's, the path in his life has went. Nanes can condone that, but as a football genius, he should have been given it. But I wouldn't like to see whatever ex-Rangers player down the line refused it. I don't think that would do them any good, because it's done now. The statement's been made by Gaza, and it was a great statement. It didn't come out with the petty lip. It just says, right, okay, I didn't want it anyway. I wouldn't know, blah, blah, blah. So the only one Hall of Fame matters to me, and that's the Rangers Hall of Fame. And for me, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a moral standard set here, though. These people are taking the moral high ground. Where were these people with the moral high ground? It must have been fairly low at the time when they allowed a drunken wife beater into the Hall of Fame. So they've set a new standard now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, but I think
the
what Little Blue's saying there is it should. I think the crux of her conversation or question tonight, correct me if I'm wrong, Little Blue, is it should any ex-Rangers players going forward refuse it? No. As much as I hate the SFA, I don't think that's a road we should get down.
No.
I
think as far as Paul Gascoigne goes, he's made his point now, and like you, he's got paper now, Jimmy. The time's passed for the club to come out and say anything about it. That's gone now.
Yep.
If they want to do that, they should have done it at the time. It's not going to happen now.
It's just very sad, though, isn't it?
Well, it is, Little Blue, and I agree with you 100%. Paul Gascoigne was a footballing genius, and in my lifetime was certainly up there at the very top of the best and most skillful football players that I've ever seen gracing the park at Ibrox.
Oh,
so
definitely.
I agree with that.
It was sad the way they treated him, but he's made his point in the day, and for me, that's it. It's over with now. You know, don't forget what they done to him. We don't forget what the SFA done to him. We don't forget that, but we have to move on about it now. I think it's time.
Yeah. I would have hoped that more people would have spoken up for him. Do you know what I mean? On the likes of Twitter and that, because there was only like a handful of people that were doing it.
Yes.
For the amount of people that were in his life, footballers wise, there was only a handful of them that were actually saying anything about it. The rest of them chose to keep quiet, and I wonder why that is.
Well, I think I was expecting, I actually expected myself personally, it'll be for Walter maybe to say something, because I know Walter was like a father figure to, Gascoigne, especially at the time, as he was earning, and he brought him to Everton. And I know Gaz always said that he was like having my father there, trying to keep you right, But because Walter, as we all know, when he speaks, everybody sits up and listens on all sides, because he does hold a lot of respect in Scottish football. But I thought he maybe would have come out, but no, doesn't seem to be. But just before we bring anyone else in, I'd like to bring Magpie, because he's been sitting.
But listen, I'm on record saying that Gascoigne's the best player I've ever seen playing for Rangers in my lifetime, and I'll just say this: Scottish football should be counting themselves lucky they had that man playing in the league, because there's plenty of other places man could have played, and they came to our league. The fact I look at it, we've got a bam pot just now. I'm sorry, I know there's two guys, people from Northern Ireland on here. We've got a bam pot who's a manager who's still acting like a bam pot, and it's the jolly crackster and stuff like that. And this is a man that's attacked his wife as well, and his girlfriend, and he's threatened him. And I'm sorry for getting allegedly, okay? But this man becomes a victim. Gascoigne has not had a fair. The amount of good things Paul Gascoigne's done, I've read or I've heard on Talk Sport. You'll never hear it in Scottish radio. The kindness that man's shown. He has obviously got a problem, right? But at the end of the day, his merits are on the football field. As you guys know, Ulster, George Best, what do you do with George Best then? Do you take that airport away from him because George Best wasn't a saint? What do you do? Who is a saint? Who is it they play? Who plays more? Because I'm certainly not a saint. I've never been a saint in my life.
No, absolutely. I had the pleasure of serving Gaza on many occasions when I worked behind bars and nightclubs and things like that, and he was such a lovely guy. He used to stand at the bar and he would turn around and say, right, I'll buy everybody a drink at the bar. You'd see them all clamouring to the bar to catch him to buy them a drink, but he would go ahead and do it. He was such a lovely guy, and he had the time in the world for everybody. There was very few people he would turn his nose at. Put it that way.
I tell you, Little Blue, I would rather, if I was Gas, I'd rather be on Crime Watch and in the Hall of Fame. Who would want to be associated with that crowd? They're a bunch of
I'd rather be on
Crime.
Can I just ask something just quickly before we go on? Little Blue, you're not from Northern Ireland, are you? You don't sound like you're from Northern Ireland.
No, I'm not from Northern Ireland.
Oh, sorry about that.
You're down the south.
Yes, I'm from south, down in Cork.
Cork.
There you go.
Right.
I could be wrong.
I am not one of them.
I hope you're not voting for the SNP.
hey.
No, I'm definitely not. I'm not disguised as one either.
Magpie, I had the pleasure of meeting a young lady in Loudon, Ibrox. And
you were telling you were Gasser, though. That's what you were telling you were Gasser.
What I can see without embarrassing her, she's a pretty young lady. There you are.
Right.
Come in there.
Yes, Bridgeman, come ahead.
I'd just like to say that before the cock croweth and all that in the biblical terms, believe you me, Gaza will be to blame for his own demise. That's what will happen. The way the press will turn it, the radio and the television, they will all turn it and they'll say he was only here 3 years or less and it's his own fault, whatever he did off the field and so on and so forth. That's the way it'll go. And before you know it, it won't matter. It won't matter, because that's the way they are.
Probably.
Just quickly, guys, just quickly, if anyone's not speaking, please go on mute, because we're just getting a wee bit of feedback, just...
Well, listen, I'm going to drop out just now. I'm sorry for hijacking your show tonight and being political, mate. But I seriously, I just love to give my point over. You know where I stand anyway, and I'm not going to have a go at anybody for voting for who they want to vote. But I'm just going to actually think about it first, and think there's a reason why we guys like myself are like this. I wasn't born like this, hating Scotland, and I do have a hatred for Scotland. It's so sad, but that's just the way I'm just now. The way Scotland is today, I'm not proud of it.
Bridgeman, go back to...
We're going to let Magpie go. He's going there, but thank you very much for joining us.
Cheers, Magpie. Cheers, buddy.
See you, Magpie.
See what?
See you later.
There, Bridgeman. You mentioned about the country. It's already started.
Sorry, again, just quickly, because the feedback's
Somebody's getting the game on in the background.
It's definitely not me. It's definitely not me.
It's coming for you, little blue. You need to go on mute when you're no speaking, darling.
All right, okay, sorry.
You're right. Sorry, I don't know. Go ahead, Rudy. Or enable that blue come in.
Televisions are anything on. But anyway.
No, it's coming for your phone.
It's a show.
That's right. Go ahead, Rudy, and then we'll let the blue wants to come in.
Just to touch on what you were talking about there, Bridgeman, it's already started. You've got the crackpot Tom English, he didn't see...
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely.
He did it already. Graham Spears, the usual culprits, it's all Paul Gascoigne's fault, the SFA and the board that decide who goes into the Scottish Football Hall of Fame have done nothing wrong here. It's everybody else's fault but theirs. The usual garbage that you expect all the usual culprits to come out with. So you're right, Bridgeman. That was all I was trying to say. They've already started. It'll
build, Rudy. It'll build and it'll build to a crescendo. And the BBC, there are 5 or 6, or whatever it be, 8 or 10 people who matter, shall we say, we'll use that in quotes, of course, that matter in Scottish football at the BBC. They're the ones who'll decide, and they've already decided it was Gaz's own fault. And Rangers, they should never even have put the guy forward because he played for Rangers. That's what they'll say.
Yeah. The thing is, guys, I don't think this is a Rangers problem. He was voted by fans and passed by a board to go forward from this. The one person I thought you would have heard for was Fraser Wishart, who is a player's representative. Although he's a Scottish player's representative, you think he would have stuck up for a player regardless of what country he came from, and we never heard a thing for him, which I think is shameful.
He's an ex-Rangers player and all, folks.
We'll let poor Blue in, because he's been sitting quiet.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for 5 minutes. Fraser Wishart never said anything when Rangers players were attacked on the pitch.
Yeah.
A cup final. So why the bloody hell would he come out and say anything now? You didn't expect anything from him, that's for sure, when it comes to Rangers. What point I was going to make before that was that the fact is that the SFA Hall of Fame have done a huge amount of damage to themselves with this. I think they've probably demeaned that award, and the majority of people now will not care one way or the other whether they get elected to it or not in the future. And it's an individual's choice whether they wish to accept that award. And with regard to the like of English and whatnot, if they start spouting their mouths off too much, then you'll find that people like Vinnie Jones and Piers Morgan and all the rest of it will come back in again. And they've got a far bigger audience and more people listen to him than they do to those talentless, the politest way I could put it is talentless oafs, because that, to me, is what they are. And the small leadership which they command. The people will listen. There's millions listening to those, the likes of Vinnie Jones and Piers Morgan. They're probably lucky if you could get 10,000 that listen to that pair between them.
Anybody want to come in there? And
I agree. I agree 100%. I think it's... now, you know how I feel about these things. I think it's an absolute scandal what's happened with the BBC. The BBC have got the same problem that the whole of Scottish football have got. They're overrun. And STV to a certain extent as well. Overrun. And there's nothing they can do because these people are ingrained into the system now. It's endemic. And there has to be a root and branch clear out of all of it. And that may start with when Rangers get their power or strength back. They might be able to do something about that. But, you know, there's got to be rules and regulations and all the wee things that they're doing that are just, it's a bit of crack, as you said earlier. That's not it. They've got to stop. All of that's got to stop. There's got to be some decency put back into football, and it's got to be cleared up. One way or the other, it's got to be cleared up. And if they don't like it, move along.
Okay. So he is ready to talk about football?
Yes.
Let's talk about the football.
We've had an hour 20 of politics, but, well, it wasn't our fault. Other people brought it in.
Boxes away now.
We can all breathe again. Calm it down a wee bit. So what I was looking at today is actually, well, Foxy actually pointed it out to me. So how do we look at the fixtures? It's not just our fixtures now. It's sort of everybody's fixtures. And I see here on match day 9, which is this weekend coming up. And it could be a big week for us if we do the business and get our away form sorted. You've got Hibs away to Celtic. You've got Aberdeen away to Hearts. And you've got Killie away at St Mirren, and obviously Livingstone at home to Dundee. So Livingstone, we'd expect them to be, because Dundee's have a bit of a torrid time. But Killie away to Saints could be tough. Hearts and Aberdeen both will obviously, well, at least one of those teams or both could drop points, and the same for Celtic v Hibs.
Yeah.
And we are away to Hamilton. We need to get points here, guys. So Rudy, first, what do you think? Is this a big weekend? We need the 3 points.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, we need to sort this away form out. I said last week, I'm starting to worry a wee bit that we've swapped the home form from last season for the away form for this season, you know. I'm sure we haven't, you know. I'm sure the boys will sort it out, and Stephen Gerrard, you know, they'll get this away form thing sorted out. We've been really unlucky. The games against Motherwell and Aberdeen, for me, we should have got the 3 points in both of the games, you know. We really should have done. Hamilton at the weekend, as you say, and all the fixtures there, this team's going to be dropping points. It's as simple as that, you know. It's mathematically impossible for teams not to drop points. So they're going to drop points. We need to capitalise on that. We need to take every opportunity now, especially to sort the away form out and to pick up the points away from home. Hamilton, we can beat Hamilton. Look, if our players, the quality we've got within that team, based on, especially on the last 2 performances, guys like Kent, Ajaria, Kudais, Morelos, you know, these guys have played out their skin in the last couple of games for me. All right, took their foot off the gas a wee bit after half-time against Hearts in the second half. You could understand that. They were 3-0 up. They had put in a huge performance against Rapid Vienna on the Thursday night. So you can understand them taking the foot off the gas a wee bit in the second half against Hearts, right? So, but they still did what was required. They played really well in that first 45 minutes and got us the 3 points with a good performance and some good goals, you know, none more so than Morelos' wee back heel. What a superb goal that was. If anybody else down south had done that, or Messi or Ronaldo had done that, you'd be watching it on a loop on Sky Sports, you know what I mean?
It was on the showboat on Saturday.
Aye. And so it should, Jimmy. So it should. It was an amazing goal. It was brilliant. So, yeah, it's a big week coming up for us. There's points going to be dropped all over the place. We need to capitalise on that Ulster. We have to go to Hamilton this weekend coming up and put a footballing show on. And saying that, I'll take the 1-0 win, like Bridgie always says. I would take a 1-0 win. I'd rather see a 3 or 4-0 win. But if it means scraping by, just getting the 1-0 win, just to get us that away win and collect the 3 points, I would take that.
Okay, JFK?
I'm the same as Bridge and Fox there. I mean, he's right. I mean, probably we're looking at all the fixtures. No, I mean, the spoon burners, Hearts, the Shaggers and the Beggars have all got a lot of hard games. I know it kind of against one another, obviously, and not there. Kilmarnock, Livingston, there, no. But look, we should be able to beat Hamilton. I know our away form's been poor. We're kind of swapped it. It's been the flip of the coin, innit? But we should beat Hamilton. Then we'll get the Spartak game. And then we'll get the Shaggers in the Scottish League Cup. But then we'll get Kilmarnock in a Wednesday night game, guys. Remember that at Ibrox. And then we'll go at St Mirren. And then we'll get the Spartak game again. And then we'll get 3 games at home after that. We play, remember, on Sunday against Motherwell. We play Livingston the following, 2 weeks after international break. And then obviously we play Villarreal in the Europa League. Out with the European games, guys. All these games are much, much winning games. We've got to win them. And we've got to win them, every one of them. There's no draws. No. Looking at it the way I'm looking at it now, I'd be really disappointed, guys, if we didn't come away there with maximum points. And they'll all end up as a hard start of the season we had, with the games that we had that we dropped bloody stupid points. But we've got games here that are, if we can't beat Kilmarnock on a Wednesday night at Ibrox, then I'd be shocked. St Mirren at their grun, and then Motherwell in November, and November on Sunday. Livingston the following week, or 2 weeks later at Ibrox. They're all cracking games, guys. We need to win them now.
Right, all the games are winnable, aren't they, Jimmy? You know, so
definitely.
I would be disappointed if we dropped any points in any of the games. You know? And the European, they'll look after themselves.
Yeah.
The league, as you keep saying, Jimmy, and everybody agrees with you, the league is what's really important to us at the moment. So in order, to make any headway to get into the top of this league, we need to be taking maximum points out of the games that you've just mentioned.
Absolutely. For me, I looked at, funnily enough, I just looked at the fixtures today as well. And I thought, when I looked at them all, I thought the first one that worries me is the Villarreal game. When they come to town, I think that's going to be a tough night. But for especially with what they lost at home, drew at home, so they'll be looking for points. But for me, we should be taking points from all the rest of the games, as Rudy was saying just there. But we've got to focus. Mr. Gerrard has got to focus on the league. We've got to get it closed right up, and preferably get on top of the league and put pressure on everybody else, and they will drop points. What worries me a little bit is perhaps because, with the start that we've had to the Europa League, whether it might just be, we could get to the next round or whatever. It would be a fantastic achievement, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because, as I said a few days ago or weeks, whatever it was, if we get through this round, we could draw the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, AC Milan, and teams that, with the best of it, I just can't see. I couldn't see us getting past them. So we're not going to, as far as the board's concerned, we're not going to make that much more money out of it. We will make more money if we qualify for the Champions League for next year, and it'll be we'll get 55, and B, it'll be a massive kick in the what's to that lot across the city.
Yeah.
Well, see, strange enough, you're saying there, Blue, that the Villarreal game, would be the only one would worry you. I'm petrified to play Hamilton away. And it shouldn't be, but it's just the way it's been this season in another plastic pitch. I just hope we just go out and do the job, I hope we do.
As long as he doesn't,
and we should do.
As long as he doesn't make that silly mistake of playing that formation with Lafferty on the left, either up top or on the left-hand side. That is what, stick to what works well, because that system that he's playing is very flexible and you can always tweak it to deal with any vagaries that may require it from the opposition.
4 points there, mate. Bridgeman?
Well, I think the main thrust of the question was, in fact, the games that were coming up this weekend and what the schedule looks like for the other teams in the league, particularly teams round about us and above us. Well, I think the two that you mentioned was them versus Hibs and Aberdeen versus Hearts. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
So I don't know whether is Aberdeen away at Hearts or are they at home?
Aberdeen's away to Hearts and Hibs away to.
So you got Hearts versus Aberdeen and them versus, they really said it there, don't they? Them versus Hibs. Well, for me, my wee heart says we're going to win something. We're going to pick points up, providing we win our game. We get 3 points. 2 of those teams could potentially lose 3 points. My personal preference is 2 draws. And then that means that all 4 teams lose 2 points. That suits me fine. They will only gain a point, if you follow what I mean. Because a lot of them will be thinking, we've got a chance here to do something. That's what I would like to see. It means that Rangers can gain 2 points on all 4 teams, and that would just do me fine. Seriously, just do me fine. I'd just love it. Just get out there, give me a 1-0 win at least on Saturday, or Sunday rather. Is it Sunday we're playing?
Sunday, Bridge.
Yeah, Sunday. But unfortunately, it's another one of those plastic pitches. So it's going to be a test. Most assuredly going to be a test for our team. But in my mind, I just want us to get the 3 points as much as all you guys have said. I don't want to look past Sunday. I don't want to look past it. That's it. One game at a time, 3 points on the board, and let's see what the other teams do. Because Rangers can only win out of this one way or another. We're going to gain, providing we win, we're going to gain 3 points over the weekend on 2 of those teams, depending which way it goes, or indeed it's going to be 2 points against the 4 of them.
Can I come in there, Ulster? Or does Fox go Fox?
I was just going to say if Foxy was there, if you want them, we'll go to you, JFK.
This month for me reminds me of a term in golf when they get to the 3rd round. They call it moving day, and that's when you get yourself into position to further what your ambitions are, either in a tournament or in our case the season. And October for me is our moving day. We started it off well when we beat Rapid Vienna, Ibrox 3-1. We then moved on to defeat the league leaders Hearts 3-1 as well. Now as we go through October, we've got Hamilton away, which is a Premier League game. We hope to take 3 points out of that. Then on the Thursday we play Spartak Moscow. 3 points in that game will put us in a strong position if we are to get out of this Champions League game. We then move on to the Sunday game, which is at Hampden. We play Aberdeen to get into a final of the League Cup. And then we finish up with a game against another strong contender in the league, which is Kilmarnock, to finish October. By the end of October, if we are successful in our games, we will put ourselves in a good position. To win our first cup for a wee while for me, and also to put ourselves in a strong position in the league, because as Ulster says, the other teams are all competing against each other, and they've all got hard Octobers as well, if you look at their fixtures. So for me, this is our moving day, and October will see us and how strong we are, and I think we'll come out of October in a very good place.
What do you think of that, JFK?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Fox just stole most everything I was going to say there, you know. And
that's how I can afford you, Jimmy.
But what Fox said, but what I can add to that is I think all you guys will agree with me, I think our games before and after the European games have been quite kind to us. So, I mean, to capitalise on that, you know, but the league is the thing that we all want to win, and we've always said, everybody on here said that the Europa League's a bonus to us. But looking there as Fox did at the fixtures and that, and it's a great, it made a great saying, you know, the moving day. I would like to think by the end of November that October, that we should be in that top 3 again, you know, because all these other clubs will drop the points, and as Bridge said there, draws. There's a lot of good draws games in there that they could. But I know that's so ifs and buts. But I'd be really, really disappointed. I know I've said it on here many times. These are all full point games for us guys, and we need to take them. The Spartak Moscow game will take care of itself, and it would be nice to win that game on Thursday the 25th of October and put ourselves in a good position to get into the knockout stages of the Europa League. But that's a bonus. Let's see what happens. But Fox just stole everything I said there. Apart from, I'll let you add that wee bit about. I think the way that the games are fitted in has been quite kind to us, and that is good to see for a change for us guys.
What do you think of that, Rudy? Then, well, obviously, what Foxy said about October, you know, and if we do have a good October, could that see us then hopefully moving forward?
I mean, by the time we get to the end of October, we could be almost sitting in the last 32, the Europa League. You know, Blue makes a great point. You know, some of the teams, AC Milan, Arsenal, Chelsea, that we could come up against, in all honesty, I don't really see us getting by any of them. But it would be great, though, just to have them for a big European night at Ibrox, any of the teams, you know. So we could be on the verge of the last 32 of the Europa League. If we take maximum points, like Jimmy said, like Jimmy, I would be disappointed if we didn't, looking at the fixtures. And we could be sitting in the final of the League Cup. You know, you couldn't ask for a better month than that, you know. I mean, we started off well, we could finish well. If we keep strong for the next few games, you're talking about getting to the end of October, you're sitting in the last 32, almost the Europa League, you're in the final of the League Cup, and you've made ground up on the teams round about you, especially above us, as far as the league's concerned. So it's a huge couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks coming up for us, you know. And we've got the quality now, we've got the players who know how to win. They need to do it away from home now to fully capitalise, as Jimmy was saying there, on the other, like the likes of the Sheep and the Spoon Burners and them across the other side of the city, to fully capitalise on them dropping points. We need to play and be strong in every single game to the end of October right now. And we could be going into November on a complete high and really chuffed with the way things are going, you know.
What do you think about that, Blue? Is October pivotal for us to have a good end of the month, to really put a marker down on how far we've come really under Gerrard?
I mean, the fact is, as JFK said there, it's a very good set of fixtures for us, and we've got to take advantage of that and put ourselves in position. As Fox was saying, you know, there's still a bit shocked there with Fox almost agreeing with what I was saying instead of picking an argument like he usually does, you know.
I'm no well, Blue.
Lip shop.
He'll get you back when he's 100%.
All right, fair enough. But yeah, I think it's time that we need to put a push on the league and get ourselves either on top or near the top come the turn of the year, because it has also additional thing is if we're sitting on top of the league come turn of the year, it's going to put pressure on that lot, and we already know that if we put pressure on that lot across the city, they will fold. They will just fold like an old sack, and they'll start coming apart. Especially because the pressure will then come on top of Brendan, and we've seen what happens when Brendan gets pressure at Liverpool.
Bridge, what's your thoughts, mate? I know you like to do a game-to-game basis, and I'm sure we will do that as time comes, but just looking on it before the games do come on top of us, you know, would you think, is this a big month to really put a marker down?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can wonder. It's lovely to listen to you, it really is, and I do wish, I know I get into trouble for it from some of the guys, but I do wish I had your, shall we say, endearing or foresight as to what it could be like. Obviously, we can see, what can we say? We need to win every game. And if we win every game, then we're going to do really well. And we should get a really good chance at winning the league, providing we win our games. But for me, honest to God, guys, I love the European games. The feelings in the European games is just sky high. We need to show how good we are both at league and European level. I know a lot of guys are saying the league's the bread and butter stuff, and that's the absolute truth, 100%. No mistake about that. But I love the mix. I love the league games. I love the European games. And I just want the team to play well each time and give themselves a fair chance, because we didn't do that against Livingston. We just never done it. We let ourselves down against Aberdeen and Motherwell, and we just didn't turn up against that mob across the city. Now we'll get a chance. We're playing really well. We're on a bit of form. Hopefully everything goes right. We start on Sunday. We go out and we mollocate Hamilton.
Yeah, that is that word again.
Well, you know, Jimmy, the truth of the matter is the Hibs got hold of them the other week there and absolutely bloated them. And we need to do a similar exercise. Yep. Admittedly, I think it was at Easter Road, so we're going to their ground, and they're always up for a game against us, always up for it. So it's a tough wee place to go to for us. But we should be able to overcome them with ease, shall I say, in all honesty, at the end of the game. If we're a couple up, I'll be really disappointed. But 1-0 will still do me. I don't like to look too far ahead, guys, but everything you said, I hope it happens that way. I really do.
Can I come in there?
Yes, please.
It says, I can understand what Bridge is saying. I've been at Ibrox on European nights, so it's been the atmosphere's just sensational. But the fact is, with the squad we've got at the minute, if we go through, say, January and we pick up a couple of players, and then we come through to next summer, we will be in a better position and we'll have increased not only the quantity, but also the quality of the players that Mr. Gerrard has available. And then we might be able to make a sustained challenge on both fronts, then far better than, for me, that we'd be able to do this year.
Okay, mate. I don't know if Little Blue's still with us. Are you still with us, Little Blue?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Have you? What about yourself? You know, when it comes to October month, do you think it's a big month for the club?
Yeah, definitely a big month, and my concern at the moment is the away form, because it's not been so great at the moment. I'm really hoping that they manage to get on top of that one.
Yeah, I think you agree with her. I think that's the only thing really has stopped us. You know, I think in Europe we've been very good at home, fantastic. It's trying to get that away win, Little Blue, isn't it? Really, to get that confidence away from home against the Scottish teams, and then hopefully we can progress from then on.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, honestly, I think as soon as they get that under wraps and they get that sorted out, then everything else it'll really start falling into place. But I think until then, it's a bit sort of like, I don't know, it's a bit hit and miss at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
The uncertainty.
Yeah, I think it's something we need to. But I have confidence we can do it, you know. I was actually reading up as well, just JFK, if you want to make a comment on Grezda. I know we haven't seen much from him, but the manager was saying hopefully after this international break, we'll hopefully see a wee bit more of him. I was reading up a wee bit about him. He had a really good first half. He was playing the full 90. He tired in the second half, which I suppose is understandable, isn't it, when he hasn't played much football. But the first half, when he was, fit and ready, he was all reports say he was pretty good.
Yeah, I read. I mean, I tried to. I went on to different places to try to find out about a footage of the game. I couldn't get any. But all accounts, what I'd read, what he produced on the night was good, and I think he's going to be a cracking player for us, Ulster. I really do. And going forward, I think it'll be a great acquisition to the squad. I don't know how much
do you think he'd be the better replacement for Dorrans?
I like Grezda, but I'm a fan of Dorrans, Little Blue. I think Dorrans is seeing Dorrans play the last couple of games. He's come in as a sub in that, and I really rate Dorrans. I think I can see where you're coming from there, But if I had to make a choice, I would pick Dorrans. Although I'm a fan of Grezda, what I saw, but in the past, but no, I would keep Dorrans on my team if he gets into the team at all, depending on how the gaffer puts his team out on a game-to-game basis. But no, I can see where you're coming from there. But Grezda is going to be a cracking player for us, definitely.
Yeah, I think once they start picking up a bit more and getting more games involved and stuff, I think he certainly will prove probably the better player for us in the long run.
What do you think of that, Rudy?
I'm looking forward to seeing Grezda. I like what I've seen him already, It'd be great to get the boy fully match fit. It might take him once he gets a team proper, if he does. It'd be nice to see him get a decent run in the side, and we can see the best of him, hopefully, running into the second half of the season, especially, because he's very highly thought. I've read loads of great stuff about him, and it's written about the Albanian national squad. They think very highly of him. He's one of their top players, and I think Stephen Gerrard and Mark Allen I've possibly brought somebody to the club that will really excite us watching him when he gets up and running. He can play anywhere. Apparently, from what I've been reading, he can play anywhere across the front three. So, is there a possibility in the League Cup semi-final against the Sheep, he might get a good run in that game? I think he'd need to prove, though, Jimmy, that he's match fit before he gets to that game. But it's an option. The boy's got absolutely electric pace. He can dribble. And he scored a few goals in his time as well, So I am looking forward to seeing him when he's up and running again. Get the boy into the team. Let's see what he can do.
What about yourself, Bridge, on Gresda?
I think, as most of the other boys are saying it, obviously we haven't seen a great deal of him. We're hearing good reports that he's good. The wee couple of times he's been on, looks quite fit and quite fast. But proof of the pudding, I think the manager picks him. We're really looking forward to seeing him. I got quite excited when we bring in these new players. We all want to see them. I'd like to see him getting a start. Let's see what he's like. But I would love to see it at Ibrox. However, it's on maybe at Hamilton. They might put him on for the start at Hamilton. God only knows. But if it was me, I'd be looking for him at Ibrox. Let's see how he goes. Because I'd love to see him playing well. As all the guys have said, we'd just love to see it. Because, we're all like to look forward a wee bit. But I see that young boy Kent, and we're playing him and playing him and playing him. And I think back to some of the other boys we brought out, and we played them and played them and played them, and we burnt them out. We don't want to do anything like that with any of the boys. So I'd love to see someone come in to help us, gives the manager another choice, freshes the place up. I know the cliches that they come out with. I just want to see Rangers winning, and if it means bringing boys like Gresda through who are own players, get him in there, let's see what he can do. Go for it.
Especially come up with the Aberdeen. Especially come up with the Aberdeen game.
Well, that's what I was going to ask Blue as well. Obviously, Blue, you've made a comment about the squad and obviously needing probably the ad in January, but it might be good to have Gresda coming in. If he can be fit and play a job, it'll be another person added in that can take the load, isn't it, really?
Oh, absolutely. He came in with a big reputation. Not a huge reputation, but he's well thought of, certainly by the people who knew him, and his teammates saying that, he was the best player at the club at Osijek, although he never played against us. So for me, I think it really told a lot. We saw him a couple of times, and he showed a wee bit of nice touches and stuff. But to be quite honest, there's nothing terribly much. And I think it's quite telling that I think Mr. Gerrard must have thought very similar. We're not seeing enough out of him. He's and hooked him, and we'll bring him back probably. And there was rumour that we wouldn't see him before the international break, and it seems to have worked out that way. Obviously, we do need to, use the players correctly and give players a rest. Kent's been playing really, really well. But there's also as well, Kent's been playing really, really well. And, as we know, some players, particularly wingers, tend to be sort of streaky players, if you know what I mean. They play in streaks of good form and then they'll hit a bad bit. So I think it's, that's one that the manager, and I'm sure the doctor, or not the doctor, performance director, will have their eyes well on young Mr. Kent, making sure that he doesn't get himself burnt out, because I think his own club will have a lot to say if he does.
I think Candace and Kent have been in. I think it would be hard to drop any of the two of them, Blue. Candace has been exceptional in the last couple of games, and the work rate for Candace, I just love the wee man right now. I think his work rate is superb. And the same for Kent as well. He's developing a really good partnership on the other side of the park, So it would be a big shout to drop any of the two the way they're playing at the moment, But to have a guy like Gresda sitting on the bench that's fully fit, fully match fit and ready to go with the kind of pace that he's got, it'd be a great option to bring off the bench. So hopefully we see him around.
I think we need to see him before the semi-final as well, because, we're going to need to find an option to play up front, because as I've already been through, I don't think we should have set Zach Rudden out on loan, although he's doing very well where he is. Certainly we're still short of it has turned out we're short of a striker, especially when Sadiq wasn't coming up with the goods even at that time. And I think that they must have had questions over his attitude at that point as well, for me.
Yeah.
Just quickly, guys, see if Foxy's about still with us. Foxy, have you anything to say on Gresda, mate?
I was hoping that the international break we would see him starting to come to the fore, but I think we need to remember that he's been out for 5 months with injury. Yeah. It's a long road back, and the plus side of it is we don't really need him at this present time. As the boys said there, Candias is playing very well. We've got other options where we can put Kent on that side as well. So it's not as if we're badly lopsided at the moment. We've got a good player in Candias. And whenever the boy's fit and Steven Gerrard thinks he's fit enough to enter the team, it may be after the next international break, guys.
Did he not have surgery as well, Paul?
Aye, I mean, he has been out for 5 months. It's a long time for a footballer, you know.
That's what I'm saying. He had surgery as well, so it takes a long time to come back to having that surgery.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he's played representative football, guys. He's played for his country.
Yeah.
You know, after the surgery. So it's how he responds to it. Let's hope he responds well. Let's hope. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Was that perhaps too early, Bridge, though?
Well, I actually don't know. But from a Rangers perspective, I'm being very, shall we say, I don't really mean to be, but I want to just very greedy with this. I want to see all these boys getting their games for their international teams, because that's going to be to me, that'll make and break them. If they're really playing well for their international teams, that means that international teams are happy, and the international people are happy, and they should be happy coming back and playing for us, because the best form they get in for us, they're going to get picked again. Just like we saw with young Morelos not getting into the Colombian game. Now, if he'd been selected based on his present form, absolutely he'd have been in it. So it's just a pity he never made that squad, because his form is pretty good at the moment. So we're looking for that cycle they get into when they're playing international football and club football. Both are complementing each other. That's what we're looking for with Gresda. I think I'm really excited to see the boy. I will be, seriously.
Well, as I say, we're about 8 minutes to go. So obviously, as the international football's all coming to a close, and we didn't have just as many out in international duty as the last time. I think we've got the likes of Macaulay, who's still there, Lafferty, who didn't go, who else, the Morelos, etc. Rudy, and do you think that'll help us now, you know, coming into the end of October or the middle of October, with maybe the guys doing a lot of the work on the training ground these, you know, couple of weeks? I think that could be maybe invaluable to us.
I would hope so, because we had 2 huge performances against Rapid Vienna and against Hearts, you know, and as I mentioned earlier on, second half I could have took the foot off the gas a wee bit, which is perfectly understandable for me. 3-0 up by half time, huge game on the Thursday night against Rapid Vienna, brilliant performance against Rapid Vienna, loads of energy expended. There's a few wee niggly injuries kicking about. Big Kyle, apparently he's got a wee Achilles thing that he's dealing with at the moment. So, it's probably coming just at the right time for us. Though we don't, you know, we want to see Rangers play every week, but it allows them another couple of weeks where they can get onto the coaching pitch, you know, and they can try stuff out and they can have a look at players and get them back into playing a wee game here or there, you know, try and get the boys fit again, the boys that have been out for a wee bit, you know. You've got the likes of Rossiter and Dorrans and all that, you know, Ryan Jack had just come back, you know, so all these boys are going to need a wee bit of looking after just as they're coming back into the team again. So for me, it's probably come at the right time, Ulster, and I think they'll get a fair bit of work done, I would imagine, in the 2 weeks. For me, I always have this worry, you know, with the international break, the players will go away. You know, if I've got 5, 6, 7 players away on international duty, I always worry a wee bit that maybe a couple of them will come back injured, they'll pick up injuries, you know. So it's one of the things I don't like about the international break, you know, because that can happen. But hopefully, you know, the boys that have been away, it's not as many this time, but the boys that have been away, hopefully they come back all right. And the boys that have had the opportunity to work on the training pitch for a couple of weeks, hopefully we see that in the next couple of games. You know, I get the European game, but Mercer, the Hamilton game for me at the weekend.
JFK, same question to you, mate. You know, about the weekend or the international break and how invaluable it could possibly be for us.
Oh, definitely. You know, I'll give us a rest. Now, we get the great result against Hearts and we're going forward now and we're coming up against Livingston Sunday. You know, but can I just, one wee point about international break now. Ian Wright, ex-Arsenal and Green and Grey Brigade, felt it necessary to make a comment about Kyle Lafferty nobody wanting to play for Northern Ireland for whatever reason. He didn't do the same with the wee thumbhead, you know. But anyway, it's going to be I think it'll be a good rest for a lot of players. We finished the international break, or coming into the international break, winning against Hearts, and a lot of players get rested. I know we had 5 or 6 out, but they never actually get a lot of game time. Grezda get 40 minutes. Big Griggs supposedly saved them. I didn't watch it, but I'm happy. I'm a happy man. And I look forward to Sunday. It's Rangers now. It's Rangers now. We don't need to bother about all the rubbish in the papers that we're reading. I nearly said that word SIHT. Anyway, it's Rangers for now on. No talking about them tartan trannies or the spoon burners. It's Rangers for me.
Well, thanks very much, guys, for joining us. Bridge, do you want to give us a wee shout out before we go?
Of course. Can I just say that one thing that we spoke about earlier anyway? There's a Chris Boyd. For anyone who's interested, Chris Boyd has been given a testimonial, and it takes place on November the 17th. And he's going to be playing. It's an international break, and then during the international break, we'll see a Kilmarnock Heroes 11, packed with familiar faces who have played a part in Chris's story. They'll take on a Rangers Euro 11, so that could be interesting. So anybody wants to go and see them, it's a Rugby Park on November the 17th. I don't know what the prices are, but you'll see it. Just thought I'd mention it simply because it's.
I'll be there.
Well, see, a lot of Rangers fans still love Chris Boyd. Still like
we'll mention that tomorrow again. I'll make a point of it.
Okay, buddy. So can I just say that it was a smashing night tonight. I do apologise about trying to put a wee dampener on the political side, because we tend to get very excited and deep and meaningful, some of the things we're saying. And at the end of the day, we are a Rangers radio station. So. But to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, please, keep it going for the Rangers, because we're the only ones that can do it. Just keep it going.
Thanks very much, everybody who listened in, and thank you to Bridge, thank you to Rudy, JFK, True, Fox, Magpie, Blue, and Little Blue, all for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it, and thank you for the guys doing the technicals. I've been your host, Ulster Bear, and we'll be back tomorrow night from 9 to 11. Thank you.